Okay, so the second thing we're going to be taking advantage of with our chemical reactions and aqueous solution would be solution stoichiometry, which is just an extension of stoichiometry that we looked at before in the previous sections, except now we're looking not just at masses of things, we're looking at solutions. So here we're going to be looking at volumes of solutions. And whenever it comes to stoichiometry, the most important thing is we need to convert those volumes into moles. Okay, this is the most important thing when it comes to any sort of stoichiometric problem. We have to get to moles, and we can convert volumes to moles. We can convert concentrations to moles if we wanted to as well. But we have to get to moles in order to solve these types of problems. A subcategory of solution stoichiometry is based on a technique known as acid-base titrations. And this is where we study the neutralization reactions between acids and bases, and we actually calculate either the amount of moles, or we're able to determine the concentrations of an acid or a base by a technique that's known as a titration, right? So that's how that word is pronounced. It's a titration. All that it is, really, if you think about it, is just adding enough of an acid or a base. So adding enough or sufficient of an acid or base to react with, well, let's just say adding enough of an acid to react completely with a base, and then we'll say, or vice versa. You can add enough, just enough of a base to react completely with an acid. It's a volumetric technique, okay, which means that it's going to rely heavily on making accurate volume measurements, and it uses a device called a burette. We'll have lots of practice using this in the laboratory, not just in Gen Chem 1, but if you take your own chemistry 2, we do lots of titrations in those. So the point where all of the acid has been neutralized by the base, or where all the base has been neutralized by the acid, is known as the equivalence point. That's an important point in the titration. And the way that we identify that equivalence point, we can monitor that by having a pH meter, for instance, in the solution, or visually, we add something called an indicator. And an indicator is something that changes color. So it tells us really quick that the reaction is complete. We've reached the equivalence point. We don't need to add any more of that base to the acid, or we don't need to add any more of the acid to the base. All right, so the thing about the indicators is that they are changing colors, and they usually we're going to select them so that they have different colors in either acidic solutions, and also different colors in basic solutions as well. So the color change is fairly obvious to identify. And we will use indicators in the laboratory. For example, phenolphthalein is probably the most common indicator that we use in the lab. And this goes from the color change that we're looking here is going from colorless to pink. Very, very faint pink color is what we'll be looking for. Some other things about our acid-base titration, which again are a subcategory of solution stoichiometry. For our titrations, we usually use sodium hydroxide solutions. Not always, but generally we use NaOH solutions in titrations. When we use them, we need to standardize them, meaning we need to know their exact concentrations. And in order to standardize the solutions, what we use is an acid that's known as, the name of the acid is potassium hydrogen phthalate, which we often abbreviate as KHP. The P here is not phosphorus. Okay, the P there is uh, phthalate. And that's just the rest of the phthalate. That's just the rest of the compound that's different from the acidic proton, the proton that's lost. So we can use the KHP to standardize or to determine the exact concentration of the sodium hydroxide that is to be used eventually in the titration down the road. So let's take a look at an example. So as in a titration, a student finds that 25.49 mils of an NaOH solution. So let's write down what we're given. So we have volume of NaOH is 25.49 mils, is needed to neutralize 0.7137 grams of KHP. So we have the mass of KHP. So 0.7137 grams of KHP. What is the concentration of the NaOH? So what we need, right, is we need the concentration of NaOH, which again is moles of NaOH per liter of the solution, right? Well, out of these two, what are we given? Well, we're given the volume of the NaOH solution. That's this. We need to convert that to liters. But what we need here is the moles of sodium hydroxide. So what will allow us to get that? Well, what we actually need is some sort of a relationship between the KHP, the thing that we're given information about, and the NaOH. And the only relationship between them is the balanced chemical equation. So if I have my NaOH, my base, reacting with KHP, the acid, okay? Remember, your acid-base neutralization is kind of a subcategory of a double replacement. The OH, right, acids and bases react to form a salt and water. The OH and the H here are going to combine to form water. So we get H2O. And then the Na is just going to take the place here of the H, right? So we end up with KNaP. And again, P is a phthalate. Right, so we need to have our equation. We need to make sure it's balanced. So this is going to be our salt, in other words, our salt and water. And this is already balanced. We don't need to balance it any further. So what we have from this is the relationship between these two things is when the equation is balanced, right, there's a 1-to-1 mole ratio. Okay, this means that 1 mole of NaOH reacts with 1 mole of KHP, right? And that is the main thing we get from your stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations is that mole-to-mole ratio, which are just the coefficients from the balanced equation. So what am I given information about? The mass of the KHP, right? So if I have the mass of the KHP, first thing I'd want to do, convert that to moles of KHP. Then, using my mole-to-mole ratio, convert that to moles of the NaOH. Once I get to moles of the NaOH, I have my volume of NaOH. I can convert that to concentration of NaOH. All right, we've done a couple of these steps already. We're just now putting them together in this solution stoichiometry problem. All right, so we have our mass of KHP, which was 0.713. 7 grams of KHP. To get from mass to moles, we use the molar mass of KHP. So we look up the individual molar masses. We see it's 204.2. So for every 1 mole of KHP, it's 204.2 grams of KHP. Okay, grams go away. My mole-to-mole ratio now from the balanced equation will allow me to get from moles to moles. I use my mole-to-mole ratio, stick that in. I want the moles of KHP to cancel out. So 1 on the bottom, 1 mole of NaOH on the top. And then to get to my concentration now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my moles and divide it by the volume which we have up here in mils, right? This is the same as 0.025 0.549 liters. I just divided by 1,000 to get to liters, and I can insert this right here. Dividing by the volume is the same as multiplying by 1 over it, so that's 0.02549 liters. Right, you have my only units I'm left with are moles over liters. That's molarity. Stick that in your calculator, and we end up with 0.1371 molar NaOH, right? So we're putting together now in this standardization problem a few things we've used already. So in the first step, we used the molar mass of KHP to go from grams to moles. Then we use the mole to mole ratio from the balanced equation to go from moles of one thing to moles of the other. And then we use the volume of NaOH to divide the moles by the volume to get my concentration. All right, and when it comes to solution stoichiometry, these are the same general steps we're going to use for every single solution stoichiometry problem. The goal here for any stoichiometry is get to moles. In this case, we're getting to moles by using our molar mass. We can also get to moles by using other things, as we'll see in the next question. All right, so here we ask what volume in milliliters of a, hang on one sec. Yeah, what volume in mils of a 0.203, so we have concentration of NaOH is given as 0.203 molar, is needed to neutralize 25 mils of a 0.188 molar H2SO4 solution. So we're given information about the sulfuric acid. So volume of H2SO4 is 25.0 mils. We're also given the concentration of H2SO4 is 0.188 molar. Okay, so we have the things that are reacting together in this neutralization. We have our base, which is NaOH. We have our acid, which is H2SO4. Just like in the example above, what we need is we need the equation between the base and the acid. So again, you think about this as a double replacement. The Na and the H are going to swap places with each other. So we end up making sodium sulfate. Make sure the charges cancel out, and then we get water as the other thing. We need to make sure our equation is balanced. So we put in the coefficients to balance our equation. We need 2 NaOHs for every 1 of the sulfuric acid. So we have our balanced chemical equation. We have the information provided. What do we need in this problem? Well, the first part of the question, we need the volume of sodium hydroxide, right? So we're given way more information about the base, I'm sorry, the acid, sulfuric acid. So that's probably something we should start with, right? So we have the volume, and we're also given the concentration. So what we can do is we can start off with the volume or the concentration of H2SO4. We can convert that to moles of H2SO4. How are we going to do that? We're going to use the volume of H2SO, because we're given both of these. Once we get to moles of sulfuric acid, we can then convert that to moles of NaOH, because we know what the mole-to-mole ratio is from the balanced equation. And once we get to moles of sodium hydroxide, we can then convert that to volume, because we're given the concentration of NaOH. Okay, so just like with the example above, there's maybe one extra step involved, but here we're getting to moles, right? So the key thing here is getting to moles and then using the mole-to-mole ratio to get to moles of something else. We're going to get to moles by using now the concentration of something and the volume of that thing. So let's set it up. We have our concentration, okay, 0.188. So that's 0.188 moles of H2SO4 for every liter of solution that I have. Well, do I have volume in liters? Well, I have volume in mils, 25.0 mils. We need to, in order to use that, we need to make sure it's converted to liters. So we divide by 1,000, that's 0.0250 liters. So we stick that in here now. We want to multiply the concentration by the volume. So we have the 0.0250 liters on top, put that over 1. Okay, so we have moles of sulfuric acid as my unit I'm left with. Now I need to use the mole-to-mole ratio that relates the two things that I'm studying here. So I'm relating the sulfuric acid to the sodium hydroxide. So according to this equation, I have 2 moles of NaOH that react with every 1 mole of H2SO4, right? That's the mole-to-mole ratio from the balanced equation. Moles of H2SO4 cancel all the way back here. And once I get to moles of sodium hydroxide, I can then use the concentration to get the volume. Well, what's the concentration of NaOH? Well, it's 0.203 molar. So that means 0.203 moles of NaOH per liter. Right? I can take that and I can stick it in here. Right? I want the moles to cancel, so I'm going to take that and flip it. So now I have the 1 liter on top and I have the 0.203 mole of NaOH on the bottom. So it cancels away. Now the only unit I'm left with is liters. So that's my volume, but I needed volume in milliliters, right? So I'd have one more step, which is just a metric conversion. So for every 1 liter, there's 1,000 milliliters. Liters go away. All right, so all of these steps individually we have done before. Some of them we did in this section, others we did in the previous sections from a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but we're now putting them all together, and we're putting them together in one big long calculation, and we can see how all the units that we don't want cancel away, and the only unit that I'm left with is the unit that I want, which is the milliliters of the sodium hydroxide. So if I evaluate this, stick it in my calculator, right, we'll end up with 46.3 milliliters of sodium hydroxide. This is a really good example of solution stoichiometry, and it's specific now, in for this acid-base neutralization, this acid-base titration, but it can also be applied to any example where solutions, concentrations, and volumes are involved, all right? The main thing is you want to get to moles so that you can use the balanced equation. We are now able to get to moles by using the concentration of something and the volume of that thing. We multiply the concentration by the volume. That gets us to moles. We can then use the mole-to-mole ratio from the balanced equation to get to moles of something else. And then we use that molarity again to get us back to volume of that second substance in the problem.